In Game 5, T-Mac got his team rolling offensively with 16 assists. Houston held down Utah with great Team D and pulled within a win of advancing. But the Rockets have not won in Utah this season. No time like the present to kiss the first round goodbye. Game 6 is next on FSN Houston. From Salt Lake City, FSN Houston presents the NBA playoffs, and tonight it's Game 6, first round, Houston Rockets and the Utah Jazz. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell, along with Matt Bullard and Clyde Drexler. Good to have you with us here tonight. The Rockets can win this game and go home and keep the Jazz at home. Nothing really to talk about here between these two teams. They know each other very well.
Know each other very well, Bill, and now it's all about showing some heart. Both of these teams are evenly matched, but they've been able to command the home court advantage. It's up to the Rockets to see if they can break that chain.
And Tracy McGrady is going to have to come up big here tonight. But, Matt, what are the keys to tonight's game, the Toyota keys to the game?
Well, the first key is value each possession. In a game like this, there's so much defense played on both sides. Each possession is very important. You don't want any turnovers. You want to get an open shot every time down the court, which leads to key number 2. You got to drain those open J's. You don't get many, so you got to capitalize on it. Actually, in Game 5, the Rockets shot 50% from behind the arc. And then key number 3, Clyde, you know this, killer instinct. The closeout games are the toughest. You got to really put them away. Of course, you guys have tea times on Saturday anyway, so we got to win.
That's right. We'd really like to do that. And, of course, Clyde came in here with Akeem and company in 95 to win that final game. That was a 5-game series, but you were able to get the victory, and the Rockets would like to do that here tonight.
Well, very seldom do you win in the Jazz on their home court, but we were able to do it in 95, and we're just hoping that the Rockets are able to do the same in tonight's game.
Ready to go with Game 6, and we will be back to Salt Lake City in just a moment on FSN Houston. Again, everybody, and welcome back to Salt Lake City, Game 6. Rockets would like to end it here tonight. Let's check out tonight's Southwest Airlines starting lineup. And for the Houston Rockets, Shane Battier, Chuck Hayes, Yao Ming, Tracy McGrady, and Rafer Alston. For the Utah Jazz, they'll send out Andre Kirilenko, Carlos Boozer, Mehmet Okur, Derek Fisher, and Darren Williams. Let's go courtside, and here's Bart Ennis.
Well, Bill, you know, one of the biggest differences between Games 3 and 4 here in Utah and Game 5 back in Houston was bench production for the Rockets. Here, they got none. Back in Game 5, they got some, especially from Juwan Howard. And that brings us to our guy code quote of the game from Juwan Howard, talking about the Rockets' bench production.
Guys for minutes. The bench is supposed to provide energy, but not scoring points. Truly, that's not the most important thing, but not just to play hard and not to have our presence out there on the floor. It was painful.
You know, if the Jazz defend the Rockets the same way tonight that they have been, it's a good chance that Jawan and Lutherhead will both get more open looks, and when they do, they got to knock down those shots.
Well, you're right, Bart. The Rockets have been getting some of the open looks. They haven't been hitting. And, of course, the same thing could be said for the Jazz, because the Jazz are shooting 42%. The Rockets just under 40% so far. You know, Matt, I thought you said it best. Your keys to tonight's game, if those two guys could do what?
Score 40 each. We talked about Clyde and Akeem had 40 each in that game in 95. Get T-Mac and Yao with 40 points and about 20 from the rest of the team. Rockets victory guaranteed.
Man, I'll tell you, I'll go for that.
I'd go for that.
Dick Bavetta, Ken Maurer, and Joe Forte, the officials for tonight's game. Bavetta, Maurer, and Forte, the officials for Game 6. And Yao wins the jump. Rafer Alston really played Darren Williams right straight up in the victory in Game 5 in Houston. Had his best game of the playoffs. T-Mac working on Fisher again. Tracy, nice pass to Hayes. Missed it, tipped in by Yao Ming. Oh, no. It was disallowed. Offensive goaltending called on Yao.
Yeah, I don't know. That ball was definitely coming off the rim, but Yao played above the rim that time. It may have been still in the cylinder.
Good execution, bad call.
Kirilenko slips in the back door. You know, Jerry Sloan has called a backdoor play the last 4 possessions coming out of timeouts or starting quarters in the last 2 games.
And notice it was for Kirilenko trying to get him going in this game. They really need him to play well if they're going to have a chance.
He played his best game in Game 5, but it wasn't enough. Yao has it inside for 2.
And Yao with the deep low post position again against Boozer. Once you get it, that's the whole key. If he can get deep low post position, he'll shoot a great percentage from the field.
And his teammates have got to give him the ball on time when he needs it.
Absolutely.
Kicked out of bounds by the Jazz. Well, you're going to have to shoot through the smog here, at least in the first quarter. There's Jerry Sloan, 19 years. In terms of tenure with the same team, he is #1 in professional sports. And there's his sensational record. Knocked out of bounds by Fisher. Fisher was arguing that call back in Houston. He thought that maybe he was fouled on that last play, that Chuck Hayes was able to draw the charge. And then after looking at the tapes, he said, no, maybe Hayes got there in time. There's a turnover. Okura misses. Long rebound, and Hayes saves it. Back inside to Kirilenko. My goodness, never saved the ball.
By your basket. Yeah. If you do, throw it as far away from your basket as you can.
Throw it out there way past the half-court line if you got enough steam.
Double team as Boozer comes out on McGrady. Back to Hayes. Hayes sets up Shane in the corner. And he misses, and Okura with a rebound. Darren Williams in the open court. Rockets did a pretty good job on him in Game 5. And they'll have to do it again tonight. Boozer over Yao. And Tracy's got it. 4-2 lead by the Jazz. T-Mac goes around Fisher. Takes it to the rack. And gets it back from Darren Williams. Rafer is open. Too hard on the 3. Kirilenko to the basket. And a blocking foul is called on Shane Battier.
They had to call it because his foot must have been in the semicircle, which is the restricted area.
We'll take a look at Shane here. Well, he did kind of slide over a little bit.
Good move by Kirilenko to change directions.
Kirilenko becoming a lot more active in the last couple of games, so apparently he's over those first 2 or 3 games when he was very upset with his lack of playing time. Fisher hits.
You got to give Kirilenko credit, Bill, for coming out in a playoff series of this magnitude, playing hurt, knowing that your game would be subpar. I give him a lot of credit. Because a lot of guys would have said, you know what, I'm going to just sit out.
He's been able to affect this series with his block shots and his steals, especially in the last game. But you got to find some way to give your team some help. Every single player out there has got to do their job. Kirilenko, although he's not scoring, has been playing some pretty good defense. We'll watch the replay here. The interior passing, and there's the hard foul on Yao inside.
Talking about Kirilenko, one more point. He's averaging 2 blocks a game, which is the most in this entire series.
Yao's been to the free throw line more than any other player in the playoffs. That's his 54th attempt. He's made 49 for over 90%. That's good for number 10. But by far, he has shot the most and made the most. And if he gets to the free throw line around 10 times, guys, I think the Rockets will be satisfied.
He's 10 or more.
Yeah. He's been averaging right at that.
You know, one thing, when I was watching the Spurs play, Tim Duncan has got a move where he can draw a foul anytime he wants. That's the one move that Yao doesn't have yet, is the move that, like the go-to get a foul move. You know what I mean? Right. Yao's got some excellent moves, jump hook and a spin to the baseline, but he doesn't have that go-to get a foul move yet.
The old veteran move where you know they're going to go for it every time. The up and under is what Duncan uses.
Yes.
Boozer picked up on the double team to Kirilenko. Working on McGrady. Boozer with a fall away over Yao. Missed it. Yao will, if Boozer doesn't get enough distance away from Yao Ming, Yao does bother him when he reaches. Yao, baseline hook, got it. So Yao Ming off to a terrific start. In fact, he has all 6 Houston points.
You know, in both of the games here, games 3 and 4, Yao was the leading scorer in both of those games.
Darren Williams with the miss. McGrady will bring it up. T-Mac 16 assists last game. Knocked out by Darren Williams. Keeping the turnovers down, and that was one of your keys, Matt. These possessions are golden. And if the Rockets can keep that's what's hurt them the most here in Salt Lake.
If you're not going to shoot a high percentage, you definitely can't turn the ball over as well. The Jazz have done an excellent job of putting pressure on the passers, though, making each pass difficult.
And a hand check. Fisher hand checking twice.
4 seconds on the shot clock now for the Rockets. So when they get it in, they've got to get it in to a shooter.
Why not go straight inside to Yao? Let him go to work.
Why not give it to McGrady for a 3?
Good option.
Yeah, and he shot that right in front of us, and it came off his hand really weird, but still went in. When you're a shooter and you shoot it bad and it still goes in,
that's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
Okur on the perimeter now. Rockets with a 3-point lead, and Hayes knocks it away. So that a lot of hand checking and a lot of physicality on the ball here early in the game.
Well, take a look at the 3-point shooting for the series. You see for the Rockets games 1 through 4, pathetic. Game 5, very high. But getting back to your point, Bill, the physicality on that backdoor play by Williams. Players got to adjust to that. If they're going to let him play, be ready for it.
Jazz scoring a lot of inbound plays, don't they? McGrady. Back to Alston. Alston goes around Boozer. Took a little trip through the lane. Nobody guarded him. Now he got open from 15 and missed the shot. Hayes got it back. Press 24. Alston won't take but a couple of seconds, and he hits a 3 right for Alston. And the Rockets now have hit back-to-back 3-pointers to lead it by 4.
And give Chuck Hayes credit for keeping that ball alive and giving the Rockets a chance at a second chance opportunity.
Kirilenko. Wow. And a rebound to Battier.
Were you saying wow because he actually touched the rim, or that shot was ugly?
McGrady from the outside. Short.
McGrady's got to put it on the floor and move Kirilenko because he has the length to bother him. He just goes straight up and shoot over him like he does everyone else.
Okur on the drive. That's going to be a charge. Battier saw that coming. You can't telegraph it because Battier and Hayes really do a good job of moving over.
Well, neither one of those guys are known as shot blockers, but they're excellent position defenders. You see Battier gets there from the weak side, anticipates it, and he's there for the charge.
Rockets maintain that 4-point lead. We're almost halfway through the first quarter. McGrady getting around the pick by Yao, and a moving pick is called on Yao Ming.
How about the crowd tonight?
They're kind of quiet.
Very quiet. And we have patches of empty seats.
Yeah, it's an early start. It's 6 o'clock start here in Utah, but the seats are pretty full. So I'll tell you what, it's eerily quiet in here.
I've never seen it quiet for a long time in the United Center.
Boozer all the way to the basket.
The Energy Solutions Arena. Excuse me.
You were in the wrong city.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Well, they all look the same after a while.
Now threw it out of bounds, and we've got a timeout on the court. 5:53 left to play in the first quarter. The Rockets up by 2. .553 left to play in the first quarter. The Rockets and the Jazz squared off in the first round of the 95 playoffs. The Rockets were a 6th seed. And in the first round, a rematch of the previous year's Western Conference Finals. Game 1 in Utah would not go the Rockets' way. John Stockton led the Jazz to a 2-point victory. But the Rockets would even the series. An impressive offensive performance in Game 2. Then after losing Game 3 at the Summit, the Rockets kicked their offense into high gear. Drexler and Olajuwon put a combined 81 points to force a 5th and deciding game back in Utah. And in Game 5, the Rockets beat the Jazz 95-91.
Did you guys see that? Clyde just passed it.
Sweet memories. I passed all the time, man. You should know that. You were the recipient of a lot of those.
Yeah, no doubt. That 95 championship, Clyde, had to be, your backs were against the wall, it seemed like the whole time.
The whole time we were the 6th seed, which means you're going to play every big game on the road.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of pressure, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
And the Rockets won 9 road games to win the championship, and that's still a record. Shane Battier open, misses the 3, and Okur has the rebound.
I like what Ray Austin is doing. He's keeping his dribble open.
Fisher. And who ties the game at 12?
Well, back to Ray, he's keeping his dribble alive, which is enabling him to find his teammates for open shots, much like Steve Nash does.
This game is very physical.
Called on Chuck Hayes.
But the foul's called on Chuck Hayes, and Derek Fisher, being the old vet that he is able to flop a little bit and sell that call.
Tell you, Fisher has 148 three-pointers made in the playoffs. That's good enough for 3rd among all active players.
Yeah.
So you don't want to leave him.
Of course, the majority of all of those came with the Lakers. He won 3 championships with L.A. Boozer with a baseline jumper, and Kirilenko knocks it out of bounds. He went over the back of Tracy McGrady. Yeah, he was on some great teams, wasn't he, with the Lakers?
3 world championships playing with Kobe and Shaq. Obviously, they had to leave him, and when they did, he made them pay.
And there's a foul on Darren Williams. Remember that shot he made against the Spurs his last year in L.A. with no time on the clock.
Utah Jazz only have 2 players that have made it out of the first round. Obviously, Fisher being one. He has 3 rings with the Lakers. Okur is the only other player that's made it past the first round. Did it with Detroit.
Yeah.
And he's got a ring as well.
No doubt.
And then came here after winning a ring.
That was in a backup role with Detroit. He was backing up Big Ben Wallace.
Yao needs
another turnover. This is not good. This is not a good trend for the Rockets.
Yao needs to shoot that ball. Chuck Hayes can get it off the rim if he wants, but Yao needs to shoot it.
Boozer taking it inside for 2. Well, the Rockets have 5 turnovers, and they've converted for 8 points off the 5 Houston turnovers, and need I say more? That's 8 of their 14
Good
off
point,
of Houston
Bill.
turnovers.
You're trying to win on the road. That's not what you like to do.
Double team on T-Mac. Battier passed up the 3. Looking to Yao. 5 on the shot clock. Yao takes it to the middle. He's called for traveling. Well, again, after the Rockets do a pretty good job of getting off to a good start, they look a little out of sync again. It's just like this crowd takes them right out of the game.
And I don't know why, because the crowd's not loud like they have been, but they're going to start getting loud if the Rockets keep turning it over like that.
Yeah.
The turnovers create momentum for the Jazz. The worst thing you can do on the road.
It's the best offense for the Jazz right now. Now there's a turnover by Utah. Boozer fell down. Luther Head getting ready to check into the game. Yao on Okur. And he goes baseline over Okur with a miss. So Yao Ming now 2 for 3.
You notice how Okur pushes him right outside the box, just far enough away so it's not a pot shot when he turns around.
Harpering trying to get position inside. He just checked in. Okur with a jumper. And the Jazz have gone up by 4. So this is an 8-0 run by Utah. Rockets need to stop this Utah streak. They need a basket right here. And a whistle. And a foul is called on Gordon Giricek.
Giricek with the forearm on Tracy McGrady when he's outside. Now, that's what he's been doing the entire series. So when he's been playing that way, and then finally in Game 6 he gets a foul call against him, he's probably a little puzzled. But that's the correct call.
Good point, Matt. Especially up until this point, they've been letting them play physical. And then you make a call like that. Now the players are shaking their heads going, hey, give me some consistency, please.
Yeah. Well, that's 3 team fouls on the Jazz, 2 on the Rockets.
Saw that bench production. Now Luther Head in the game. He needs to get hot.
And Juwan Howard. T-Mac? Yes. So Tracy with 5 and Yao with 6. That's 11 of Houston's 14 points. The other 3 came from Skip. And Juwan Howard called for the foul. That's the 14th foul call, or the 13th foul on the Rockets. We have a timeout. Jazz up by 2. Tracy McGrady driving the lane.
Welcome back to Energy Solutions Arena. Jazz up by 2 as we kick it back over to Bill Worrell.
Yeah, thank you, Bart. And the Rockets are doing a pretty good job defensively on Utah. The 8 Utah points have come off of 6 Rockets turnovers, and so really the Rockets are making it tough on them to get a good shot.
Good point, Bill. The Rockets are only shooting 41% from the field, and by contrast, the Jazz are shooting 57%, and the Rockets are only down 2, even with the 6 turnovers. So if they can get it going and just get a decent shot on the go, I think they can get off to a good start in this arena and keep the crowd out of the game.
Dikembe Mutombo in for Yao Ming, so it'll be Deke and Juwan, Luther Head, Rafer Alston, and Tracy McGrady. Aaron Williams turning the corner, gives it up to Gordon Garicek. He misses, and McGrady with his 4th rebound already in the game. McGrady, T-Mac to the rack, he's fouled.
I like what Tracy did there. Kept his dribble alive, was very aggressive, going to the basket, and that's what it takes because they're going to double team you, but if you keep your dribble alive, you can make things happen, not only for yourself, but also for your teammates.
Jaron Collins had to foul him.
But Clyde, when you played a similar position as T-Mac. He's got 4 rebounds, leading the team so far. Is that good news for the Rockets, or is it bad news?
No, that's good news because he can do it all. I mean, and that's what he's supposed to do each and every night he's on the floor. And his teammates want him and need him to do that. So that's a good thing.
I remember you leading the Rockets in rebounds sometimes. If it hadn't been Olajuwon on the team, you would have.
I got lucky every now and then.
There's a one out of 2 for McGrady.
I feel like I'd rather have T-Mac passing the ball and making shots and not relying on rebounding.
Harpering with the miss. Collins got a one-arm rebound. Luther back to Rafer. Luther Head is open. Luther Head hits. All right, I think those 2 threes he made in the 4th quarter of Game 5 have got him going, fellas.
That's the Luther Head we know and love.
Yep.
Finally got his head straight on those jump shots.
Cut it out. Cut it out. You're killing me.
We've got a defensive 3-second violation on Houston.
Let me guess, Mutombo?
Good guess, man.
Never happened before. You see him arguing with the referee? If you see him arguing with the referee, you know it's on Mutombo.
Well, we've been talking all year. He's got size 21 feet. I mean, how do you expect him to get out of the lane with those boats?
Yeah, it takes him 5 minutes to get out of the lane. Rockets lead it by 2, and it stays that way as Darren Williams misses the technical foul shot. So Luther Head will match up with Garicek. Harpering is matched up with McGrady. Boozer guarded by Juwan Howard. Boozer taking it in on Mutombo. Mutombo did not get there in time. Boozer really does a good job of sealing his man off.
With that big body of his, he puts that weight on you, and you're going to move. And he's a great finisher around the basket.
Yeah, not only is he strong, but he's also very quick. He doesn't waste much time.
McGrady gets a step on Garicek, sets up Luther Head. Luther passes back to McGrady for the short jumper, and he missed it. And T-Mac gets it right back, goes up with a 15-footer. That's way short. Tracy hasn't shot very well in this building.
No,
in fact, he hasn't had a good series shooting it, period.
Well, he's only 38% from the field, but in the playoffs, your shooting percentages go down dramatically.
And they make him work hard to get his shots, too, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
There's Darren Williams. In and out. Game stays tied at 18. That's what impressed me about San Antonio last night. They made Iverson really work, and he had trouble scoring, and that's what you do. Under a minute now. Left to play in the quarter, and T-Mac takes it right to Garicek.
That's what he has to do. Don't be passive. If you're aggressive, if you don't make that, at least you get the foul.
And he beat the double team, didn't he?
He beat the double team. He seems to be getting the shot that he wants, which is the most important thing for one of your best offensive players.
Yeah, you want to take the shot you want, not what they're giving you. Exactly. If you're T-Mac.
Aaron Williams from the outside on the pick and roll. Game tied at 20. Rockets, if they shoot a quick shot, they can get a 2-for-1, but it doesn't look like McGrady's going to do that.
There's not a whole lot quick about these two teams.
Luther Head gets open. And he missed. And the rebound, Mutombo tips it out to Luther. And Rockets now can go for the final shot. There is no shot clock. 15 seconds. Grady, 7 seconds. Down to 6. Down to 5. T-Mac to the rack. Put it up and in. Right, quickly down the other end. 1 second left. Darren Williams gets the shot off and misses. Hey, fellas, the Rockets have a lead at the end of a quarter in Salt Lake City. It's Houston 22 and the Jazz 20.
Welcome back to Energy Solutions Arena here in Salt Lake City. Game 6 between the Rockets and Jazz. Rockets up by 2 after the first quarter. Pretty quiet in this arena right now, Bill, and probably that's due to the fact that Tracy McGrady already lighting them up for 10 points and 5 rebounds in the first quarter.
Yeah, McGrady having a good first quarter, Bart, no doubt about it. Rockets up by 2, only the second time they've led after a quarter here.
T-Mac started off by knocking down a 3. And then he started taking the ball to the basket. Now, you got to have your best player get you off to a great start, and that's what T-Mac has done. With Giracek on him, Giracek has been playing him very well this season, but T-Mac, look at that. Looked like an and one, didn't get the call, but 10 points, 5 rebounds already. Great start for T-Mac now. His teammates have got to continue that momentum here in the second quarter.
Good point. Yao got him off to a great start to start the game. T-Mac finished the quarter playing well, and that's the reason the Rockets are up 2 at this point.
Young rookie Millsap in the game now, picked up by Juwan Howard. Fisher and Rafer Alston inside to Millsap. That was a defensive mistake there. Juwan stayed with Fisher.
They ran the pick and roll, and Millsap slipped it, and Fisher picked him up. Great pass, great execution by Millsap.
Yao back in the game. He's got Millsap behind him. Millsap's only 6'8", but Yao misses the shot. Paul Millsap, second-round draft choice out of Louisiana Tech, having a great playoff series among the rookies. Harpering on the outside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Tipped over to Harpering. He's open. And he missed. And Yao with a rebound. Game tied at 22. Luther Head. Down to Yao Ming. Millsap behind him again. And Millsap's got to hold him. Fellas, I like that matchup for Houston.
Well, Millsap is only on a good day 6'8". Even though he's a strong and good-looking rookie, he's no match for Yao Ming on the low post. He's going to force the Jazz to bring help. Here Yao goes with the spin on the baseline and draws a foul. His patented move from the regular season.
Over to Luther Head. Giracek trying to stay with him. Double team on Luther. That leaves Juwan open.
Yes.
Well, he hasn't missed now in 2 games. He's 7 for 7. He was 6 for 6 in game 5, and he picks up right where he left off. Boy, that's good to see.
Great to see Juwan Howard take the leadership role off the bench.
And he bounces out to that elbow, Clyde. That's his shot.
He's money.
Gordon Giracek is fouled on the outside by Luther Head.
Now, Dick Bavetta has made the last 2 calls. Both of them have been kind of the forearm hand check. The one on Yao and then this one here on Luther. So, Dick Bavetta's calling the game tight. The other 2 pitchers are letting it go.
He's pretty consistent in his calls. You got to give Dickie the nod.
Well, he's the best in the league, in my opinion. Best official we have.
Absolutely. Number 1 by far.
Best communicator. Andre Kirilenko is now checked into the game, and there's a miss by Fisher, and Juwan corrals the rebound. He has been so active. Down to Yao Ming again. He's got Collins behind him. Rafer's open. Rafer hits. Boy, great pass from Yao Ming on the inside out.
And that's the open jump shot you've got to make if you're going to win a game on the road to close out.
Exactly. What that does is it gives Yao more room to operate the next time he receives the ball.
First time the Rockets have had this big a lead in Salt Lake. They're up by 5, and Jerry Sloan calls a timeout. 27-22, Houston with the lead early in the second quarter. If you want to know about the Jazz and how they play on their home court, look at this collection, folks. The Chicago Bulls, the Lakers, the Celtics, the Jazz, all over 70% in playoff history on their home court. But look at all the titles the Bulls, the Lakers, and the Celtics have.
Dynasty, dynasty, dynasty. And the Jazz have never won an NBA championship.
As of yet. But that's still a pretty impressive home playoff record.
And for a small city franchise, too, that's pretty impressive because they were able to get Malone and Stockton early on and win. Now with a rebuilt team, really not a superstar. Boozer would be the closest, maybe.
I agree.
Williams.
But a young team with a lot of potential. You know, all the guys fit in Jerry Sloan's system. A couple more years, Darren Williams and Carlos Boozer may be thought of as the next Stockton Malone.
Added a nice player in the draft this year and maybe a pickup, a free agent acquisition. They could be among the elite teams in the league next season.
Or he can run for mayor and win. Jerry Sloan. Only Bobby Cox of the Atlanta Braves has been with the team as long, and Bobby's been with Atlanta for 18 years. Jerry in his 19th season in Salt Lake. All right, here we go now as Derek Fisher takes it inside to Kirilenko. Now, that's a great matchup. I wondered why it took him so long to find it.
Kirilenko against Luther Head.
Yeah.
It's about a 7-inch height advantage for Kirilenko, and they used it to their advantage.
Took them a while to find it, but that timeout, they went right to it after the timeout.
Yao working on Millsap. Back outside. Yao wants it back. Go instead to Luther. 5 seconds on the shot clock, and Luther throws it away.
Millsap is so quick, they really got to improve their angles for the low post.
Block inside, and Yao's got it to Rafer. It's off to the races. Jawan's the trailer, and he takes it up and in.
Very well run fast break that time by Rafer. He knew he wasn't going to get it all the way by himself, and he waited for Jawan to join the play.
Who blocked that inside?
Shane looked like.
Okay. He'll give you 2 or 3 sneaky blocks in a game. All right, they go right back to Kirilenko again, double team, and back inside to Millsap. That's killing the Rockets.
They're exploiting a pretty good matchup there. The Rockets have got to do more to counteract that.
Take a look at the points in the paint. The Jazz are just so tough inside.
Rafer with a miss. Harpering trying to set a pick for Okur. They go instead to Paul Millsap.
See, now they're trying to get Harpering on the post against Luther Head. Whoever Luther's guarding, that's who they're putting on the post.
In other words, they're going right at Luther Head defensively. And what they've got to do is double and give him help, because both of those guys are substantially taller and weigh a lot more than Luther Head.
He's been holding his left wrist, too, like.
When you're banging against those big guys, let me tell you, that hurts.
Now they get McGrady back in, and they get Luther over on somebody his own size, Fisher. Now McGrady will be on Kirilenko. Kirilenko turns and misses. And McGrady gets the rebound. And for T-Mac, that's his 6th rebound of the game. Yao Ming on the post-up. Okur behind him. Yao goes down the baseline, puts it up and in. Nifty move from Yao Ming.
Too big and too skilled up to stop one-on-one.
31-26, Houston. 7:37 left to play, second quarter. Jawan's so active at both ends of the court. They're having a little problem matching up with him. And Boozer and Darren Williams will come right back in. You know, Jerry Sloan can't afford to let those guys sit very long, fellas. This is it for him.
No, this is a must-win situation for the Jazz. And Jerry Sloan, he knows the urgency of this game, and he's not going to – those guys will play 40-plus minutes tonight easily, Williams and Boozer.
Ball deflected, out of bounds, Houston's ball. So now that's the 4th turnover for the Utah Jazz. The Rockets have 7. It'll be Luther Head again. Handling the basketball, looking for McGrady, T-Mac, and Kirilenko. T-Mac steps back, fires, hits. Tracy McGrady, 5 for 9. 6 rebounds, 12 points, and the Rockets with their biggest lead of the game.
And I see a lot of confidence out on the floor by the Houston Rockets.
Yep.
They're getting the shot they want, and they're making them.
Taking it in, Millsap. Oh, what a shot by Paul Millsap. Tell me you meant it.
Sometimes you get lucky. He's a good-looking rookie.
And Kirilenko grabs McGrady around the waist.
Here's Millsap on the other end. This is quite an athletic move. 2 dribbles and a hang in the air off the glass. Look at, he's excited. He's trying to get his team going. Now the Jazz are 4 of their last 12 from the field. That's why the Rockets have been able to push this lead up.
Now a little farther out than he'd like to be, and Kirilenko fouls McGrady again. You can't reach across a guy like that. That's going to be a foul every time.
An automatic foul right in front of the officials. An easy call to make.
And don't you think that he's very noticeable out there on the court with that haircut? How can you miss him?
That's a 3rd team foul. You saw the 2nd on Kirilenko, 3rd on the Jazz. Okur comes out on McGrady now. They're cutting him off. Luther down to Juwan. Juwan tried to shoot it. Knocked out of bounds by Okur. The Rockets now have 4 seconds on the shot clock.
The last time the Rockets had this, they gave the ball to McGrady, who nailed a 3. They're in the same set, a box set. Again, let's see what they do.
Going to pin down for who? Who else? McGrady.
There it is, same play.
Has to shoot it over Kirilenko. Well, Kirilenko with that size made him really arch that ball in the air. Millsap. They were looking for Boozer. Now they go away from him, come right back to him again. 17-footer. Rattles and won't go. Millsap again. Rockets just cannot find anybody to stay with this young rookie from Louisiana Tech. He's the most active player the Jazz have in the paint.
He's got 8 points already off the bench.
Yep.
You talk about a start.
Kirilenko reaches back, knocks the ball away. Still 7 seconds. Well, McGrady's having to work hard, fellas. And Yao tips it right into the hands of Millsap. Millsap. And a charge.
Shane Battier stepped up and drew the charge. Who else?
I keep saying Millsap so much, I think is this their go-to guy now? The rookie from Louisiana. That's a charge. Rockets have the lead. Welcome back to Salt Lake City, and if there is indeed a Game 7, it will be Saturday night in Toyota Center. Rockets and the Jazz, and we understand if there is a Game 7 between Dallas and Golden State, the Rockets will be at 6 o'clock Saturday night, and if Golden State's able to close out Dallas tonight, the Rockets will be at 8:30. That's on Saturday night.
As a player, it does not matter. All you want to do is get to the arena and smell that popcorn and hear the fans in the seat, and you are ready to go.
Juwan Howard-Lutherhead, Shane Battier, Chuck Hayes, and Tracy McGrady, the 5 for Jeff Van Gundy.
Well, the Rockets have that safety net of Game 7 in their back pocket, but you can't play like that here in Game 6.
Exactly.
You got to go for the win tonight and close it out.
Especially with the outcome of Game 5 and how close that game was throughout it. You don't want that pressure.
Juwan takes it inside and is blocked by Millsap. Boozer. And he is fouled.
Boozer loves that left hand. He's a right-handed player, but he finishes better with his left. And this fast break, what a nice little flip pass by Darren Williams, and Boozer goes to the left.
Hey, get used to saying that, Matt. Bill, Williams to Boozer. Sounds like Stockton to Malone.
Well, a nice run now by the Utah Jazz to tie this game back up at 33. They were down by 7 points. Rafer turns the corner. Little rainbow. And it went. Nice, easy touch. Put it on that soft rim. And that broke that run by the Jazz.
Every time the Jazz come up with a big play, the Rockets must answer. You can't let them get too far ahead of you.
He gets that crowd right back in the game, too. There's Kirilenko. Tough shot, won't go. Good defense.
You notice on every play there's a player from either team on the floor. Every time down the court.
Rafer to T-Mac. T-Mac got a step. Back to Shane. Shane is open, and he misses the three. Well, Shane hit 5 3-pointers a couple of nights ago, but he's 0 for 3 tonight. He doesn't look close yet.
You're right, Bill. He came up big in Game 5.
Couldn't have won without him.
5 threes, I'll take that.
Okur leans into Juwan.
Hold on, Juwan. Chuck Hayes has got to grab Juwan and get him away from the official. It was a hard foul. The officials called a technical. Juwan's not happy, but his teammates have got to come rescue him from that situation.
You got to take him away from the official. He's going to get tossed if he doesn't.
Well, Bavetta came running all the way across the court to call a technical. There's the fake. Now he jumps right in.
And Okur immediately
jumps up into the body of Juwan. And
well,
there's Bavetta.
Juwan came down on the foul. Whenever you come down on an opponent, it could be considered flagrant. If you do that, you want to try to help him up. I don't think it was worthy of a technical.
I don't either.
In my opinion.
They're going to call a 2-shot foul and a double technical, I think.
No, here's what Dick Bavetta said. There's a foul on Juwan Howard. They'll shoot 2 for that, for the shot. Then a technical foul after the play on Juwan Howard, and they'll shoot 1 for that free throw too. So 3 free throws coming up, but it does not look like it's a flagrant foul,
which is good. Because I don't think Juwan had any bad intent other than to make a hard playoff foul.
Yeah, Juwan
got anything bad.
Yeah. Juwan got caught up in the air, and he made a good hard playoff foul so that Okur would not get a 3-point opportunity.
But here's the problem I have here, Matt, is when Okur jumping into him.
Well, that's T-Mac's
favorite move. That's a good offensive move, Bill.
So you think they called it on Juwan for grabbing him?
Yeah, when he pulled him down.
Okay.
The problem is it's a momentum buster. It gets the crowd in the game, and believe me, it's the last thing you want on the road.
Now here's what the Rockets can do in this situation. Use this negativity that is focused on them to pull themselves closer together. They get closer together and they fight together. That can bring your team together on the road.
Now Kirilenko will go out. Harpering will come in. Have you noticed they haven't pulled Millsap?
No, nor should they.
The young rookie has not been playing a lot in this series, but they are leaving him in. And Okur goes for all 3 points. A 3-point possession, and Utah with the lead, 36-35. First time in a while the Jazz have led.
I expect the officials to call this much tighter now.
Rafer all the way to the basket.
See, they're coming off the pick and roll, and they're not stopping Rafer.
Skip is skipping.
Being aggressive and making his shots.
Rockets lead it by 1. Skip with 10 points. Aaron Williams hits a 3-pointer. That is the first 3 attempted and, of course, made by the Jazz as they go up by 2. And Jeff Van Gundy wants a timeout. 12-4 run by the Utah Jazz. 3:28 left to play in the first half.
.328 left in the first half here at Energy Solutions Arena.
All right, Bart, right now the Jazz have run off, made a nice little run on the Houston Rockets to lead it 39-37. And the Rockets need to answer. Right now, Rafer Alston having his best game so far in the first half here in Salt Lake. He has 10 points, McGrady with 12, and Yao with 8. So far, Battier and Hayes have not scored. Millsap is on McGrady. McGrady takes the rookie inside. Now that's a mismatch in Houston's favor.
That's the first time that Millsap hasn't done something right for the Jazz.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got matched up on McGrady, but that's can't be good for the Jazz.
No, he's had him the last couple of times down the floor, Matt. That time McGrady took advantage of it by putting it on the floor and attacking the basket.
Going to Okur now, trying to work on Hayes. Okur uses a little bump, going to be short. Ball is tipped outside to Rafer. Rafer on the run. Skip's got a trailer, but he waits, and Hayes almost knocked him over.
You don't see that very often.
Don't get in front of Chuck. The Chuck wagon hits everything. McGrady on Millsap. Yes. So he's taken the rookie to the basket twice.
Well, you know, Millsap's a great player inside, but he is way out of his league trying to guard T-Mac.
Yeah, T-Mac realized that by putting it on the floor, there's nothing Millsap can do to stay with him.
And I think Jerry Sloan just recognized what you guys did. And that's a 22nd timeout taken by Jerry. He's going to talk these matchups over now. But T-Mac to the rack has been fashionable the last two plays.
See, T-Mac saying, he can't touch me out there. Touched him again, and then just quick first step. Tries to get by him, and then when he's got Millsap moving, he stops and shoots that little floater in the lane. T-Mac's just too good to be guarded by Millsap.
One-on-one, they better bring help. You got to double him. He's too quick off the dribble. Millsap is a power forward type. Whenever you have a big clunker out there guarding a guy who's as quick as Tracy McGrady, it's obviously a mismatch on the floor.
So they have made the switch now as Giricek comes in for Millsap. I think the most effective has been Kirilenko.
Yes, because of his quickness and his length.
Tonight, yes.
I think the whole series.
Boozer with a slam. Game tied at 41.
There's that left hand again. Chuck Hayes went to block the right-handed shot, but Boozer gave him the left.
Boozer with 11 points. T-Mac working on Giricek. Steps back, fires, misses. And it's tipped outside to Harpering. Good catch, Matt.
Just trying to protect my telestrator, Bill. Let me make sure it still works. Okay. Hey, he's coming at me.
Take a charge, Matt. Take a charge.
Look, I'm trying to get out of the way. Don't touch my telestrator. I got some stuff to draw later.
Game tied at 41. Boozer travel. That's the sixth turnover by the Jazz. The Rockets have 7. So the Rockets have settled down. They had 6 early in the first quarter. So they've really had only 1 turnover since then. And here we go, tied at 41, a minute 30 left in the quarter. Rockets had a little trouble getting Yao open because McGrady has been wide open. Rafer from the deep corner, missed it, over the head of Yao. Yao's a little too close to the basket. Those rebounds are going over his head. And a turnover again by the Jazz.
You think both teams are tight, Clyde, or just not handling the basketball like they should?
It's just turnover prone. I think there's some nerves out there, obviously, because the Jazz realize the process of elimination.
Turnovers haven't hurt the Jazz as much as Houston. Yao has it on Boozer, goes around Boozer and slams it home. Yao Ming.
Well, Boozer reached, and Yao said, when you reach, I'll teach.
I like that. Well, he was doing some teaching. Under a minute left.
Professor Yao. Here it is again. Yao says, hey, welcome to class.
Back to the live action. Harpering outside. Giricek with a jumper. Got it. One-point lead by Utah. Well, almost a steal by Giricek. He was overplaying. Rafer to the basket, blocked by Boozer, off to the races, Giricek. Hayes can catch him, and a foul on Battier.
Welcome to the playoffs.
That's what it's all about, the intensity, the physicality.
As Gordon Gierczek, he knows this is not going to be pretty. And Shane Battier, he went for the basketball. That was a smart move by Shane. He knows he can't just go out there and attack him. But that's just a sandwich right there, a rocket sandwich, and Gordon Gierczek comes right into your living room.
And he knew it was coming. He was bracing for it. I thought it might have been a travel before the foul.
.46-43 Jazz.
I'd like to see Yao come up and set this pick for T-Mac, give him a little more space.
Yao gets it back. Hangs on the rim. Yao tips it again. Tipped by Hayes. Tipped by Yao. And that's the end of the second quarter. So the Rockets win the first quarter 22-20. But the Jazz come back to win the second quarter. And here at halftime, Utah up 46-43. Stay with us. Tonight's Lexus halftime report comes your way after the break.
Hey, Kevin Eschenfelder with you in our FSN Houston studios. Glad to have you with us tonight for Game 6, halftime right now in Salt Lake City. The Utah Jazz leading at 46-43. Houston with a 2-point lead after one, led at 22-20. But then it's Utah coming back. They outscore the Rockets 26-21 to have the 3-point lead. Rockets shooting 45% in the first half. Utah 54%. Should come as real no surprise that the Rockets are trailing here at halftime, because while they've trailed at halftime of every single game so far, and so that trend certainly keeps on tonight. Tracy McGrady with 16, Rafer and Yao both in double figures with 10 points apiece. Now everybody knows that Yao Ming missed a considerable part of the season with that knee injury, but thankfully he's as good to go right now. But we went along with the big guy on one of his rehab stints.
Our opponent will not, because you had injuries, so they will slow their speed down and waiting for you. You know, they will use their weakness to attack you and get a score. So all you can do is just do the best you can do. You know, even you think maybe you are the best you can give, but it's still not good enough. You still, I'm just trying to push myself. You know. Push myself, go harder and quicker and stronger.
Side. It's already well documented he's a very good player. Whether he goes from very good to great to one of the all-time greats, that's still up in the air, and we'll see over time.
3, 2, 1, time.
He's starting to come of age on the court because he feels like he belongs in the NBA now. And he's throwing his weight around more. It used to be the first couple of years, he just got pushed. And that was it. He didn't push anybody else. Now, it's a lot different.
3, come on. 4, 5, 6, good. Dump him. Sorry. He's got sensitive rotator cuff. Okay, 3-minute jump rope, let's go.
I don't think Yao Ming will get any taller, but at 7'6", we're okay with that. And if he keeps getting stronger and his stamina is getting better. Anthony Falzone has done a great job.
He's running just about every day, working on fast foot drills, conditioning. Conditioning is our primary focus right now. I mean, that's going to be the hardest. I think it's going to come back the slowest probably. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job.
As the strength keeps coming, yeah, he can. I think the sky's the limit.
2, 3, 4. Reach up. 5. Fight it. Come on. Pop it. 7. Yeah. Awesome. Good job. That's the best. That's the best set ever right there. That was some good stuff right there. You're going to jog to the first marker?
First mark or first hurdle?
First hurdle. Whatever. Hurdle, marker. Sprint, go. Good work.
really, what more can you ask of a player than to work diligently to improve his craft, and two, to care deeply about the result that the team gets, and he does care deeply.
Hey, great job, great job. Awesome. That was some good work right there, man. That was a good day.
A 3-point Utah Jazz lead at halftime here in Game 6. The Rockets have never lost a 7-game series when leading 3-2, and conversely, Utah has never won one when trailing 3-2. What will happen in this one? There's 24 minutes left as the Rockets trail at halftime. They played well in the first half. They've got 16 points out of Tracy McGrady, 10 out of Rafer Alston, 10 out of Yao Ming. But at halftime, it's Carlos Boozer, his 11 points, that leads the way for the Utah Jazz, and the Jazz with a 46-43 lead.
The Rockets have trailed at every halftime in the playoffs in this series, and yet it's only 3 points, so you've got to be pretty happy with it. And what happens in the playoffs is both coaches always go to tried and true. What works best? Well, for the Rockets, it's been T-Mac, and for Utah, it's been Carlos Boozer. And what they do best is go to the basket, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, these two guys have had great first halves leading their teams. Take a look at their numbers. Very good shooting percentages. How about T-Mac with the 6 rebounds? Boozer with only 2. But Carlos Boozer, he's been taking the ball to the basket off the pick and rolls. Now watch this first pick and roll. Darren Williams finds him on the roll, and he finishes with his right hand. Now on this next one, it's a little pick and roll, and after the penetration, he drives and finishes with his left hand. Kids, work on your right and your left if you want to be a great player.
And Tracy McGrady, Clyde, has really gone to the basket.
Well, you look at what he's doing. He's forcing the tempo. He's 7 for 15, 16 points, 6 rebounds. But when he goes to the basket and he finishes strong, that's the aggressiveness. I'd like to see more of that in the second half.
What I'd like to see a little more of is Yao Ming, and Yao really has had trouble getting his shot, and when he gets the ball, he's turned it over. He's got 4 turnovers here, Matt.
Yeah, he's got 10 points, but hasn't been very efficient at all. T-Mac's been leading his team, but Yao's got to pick it up.
Well, Yao got the Rockets off to a great start. He had the first 6 points in the game, but since then, the Jazz have made some adjustments. But what I think they have to do is get him the ball a lot more in the low box.
And Rafer Alston has been very effective. The guy you'd like to see hit a couple of shots is Shane Battier. He's got a big goose egg right now.
Well, the thing is, Battier hadn't scored, but neither has Matt Harpering.
Yeah.
So they kind of balance each other off.
Okay, we should have a good second half. The Rockets down by only 3. They would like to finish it here tonight. We'll be back with the third quarter in just a moment on FSN Houston. .46-43 at halftime. The Utah Jazz ahead of the Houston Rockets. And the leading scorers for the... Well, we'll look at the percentages first in the first half. 54%. Rockets, 46%. That's the first time they've been over 40%.
Absolutely. On the road, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's really not. 4 for 13. They could be a little better from the threes. But otherwise, the game is very even. Points in the paint. Rockets did a good job of getting more in the paint as Tracy McGrady drove more to the basket. McGrady has 16 points in the first half. McGrady with 16, Rafer Alston with 10, Yao Ming with 10, Boozer with 11, Millsap off the bench in 9 minutes with 8 points, Darren Williams 7, and Kirilenko with 6. Let's go to Bart Innes.
Well, Bill, the talk in the Rockets locker room regarding defense anyway was when the Jazz had that big lineup on the court with Kirilenko and Millsap both in the game. They're giving up way too many second chance points. They don't want to give up so many points in the paint. When the Jazz had that big lineup on the court, they have to adjust to that. Also, offensively, the turnovers are a concern. If you remember back to games 3 and 4 here, the third quarters when the turnovers really came back to bite the Rockets, they know they've got to do a better job handling the basketball in the second half. Back to you.
Well, the third quarters had been the key, Bart, until game 5, and then the Jazz won the third quarter in that one, but the Rockets won the fourth quarter 28-20. So how you come out of the locker room, Clyde, how much difference does that make?
It makes a huge difference because obviously on the road you want to get off to a good start. They got off to a good start. They need to get back into this game in the second half to keep the crowd noise out of it, because we all know if the Jazz get off to a good start, it'll be loud in the arena for the rest of the game.
Actually, the Rockets have 4 more shots attempted than the Utah Jazz, which is a bit of a difference as we take a look at Rafer Alston and what he's done against Darren Williams, and Rafer having him a sensational first half.
Yeah, Rayford's quietly had a very nice series. He's had some really good games and hasn't gotten a lot of press. We haven't talked about him a lot, but he's been very efficient doing his job to the best of his ability.
I agree. Remember, as I said all along, Rayford is quietly, I think he's not an all-star point, but he's one of the better point guards in the entire league.
Well, he has no turnovers so far in this game. 2 assists and 10 points. No turnovers.
You know what, guys? Let's just throw all the numbers out the windows. The numbers are making me numb. Let's just play basketball. It's down to the second half here. Who wants it more? Who's going to give more effort?
I agree, Matt. It's all about the heart, the competitive desire.
Boozer to Williams. Williams trying to get it to Okur. He does. Tipped out by Hayes. 9 on the shot clock. Jazz will have it.
Clyde, you remember when we used to come out of a timeout and Rudy would have called a play and he was drawing something up and you just said, you know what, keep it simple, guys, just give me the ball.
That's what Hakeem used to say.
Okur hits a 3. He led the Jazz in three-point shooting in the regular season. Mehmet Okur, he's not had a good playoff series, but he hits one there. They're 3 for 3 now behind the arc. They have not missed. Down to Yao. Sets, puts it up and in.
So good patience, good execution. Yao with the great pump fake. I'd like to see more of that, guys.
Yeah. Keep going to it.
Yeah, Okur's been gambling this series, and it's paid off a couple of times. That time he gambled, it did not. Boozer over Yao. Boozer with 13.
If you don't want him to get hot, he had 41 in game 2 on the Rockets. We know he can light it up if he gets hot.
Hayes came to set a pick. Sets up Rayford from the corner. In and out won't go. And it's tipped out of bounds by the Jazz. Fresh 24 for the Rockets, trailing by 6 points. This is the biggest lead of the game for the Utah Jazz now, this 6. Rockets once had a 7-point lead in the second quarter. Grady pops out, looks for Yao's got him. Yao working on Okur. Leans in, he's fouled, and it counts. Count the basket.
Exactly, guys. Just what the doctor ordered. Get it into the big wall, the great wall on the low block. Too strong for Okur. Here he is. He gets it, he backs him down. No help, no help. And 1. Good, strong move. He's aggressive. Notice he went to the basket and not away from the basket.
That's the second foul on Mehmet Okur. Yeah, as soon as he came down on the arm, all 3 whistles went off. Got it.
That's a good, solid way for the Rockets offense to play here in the second half. Inside out. Get the ball to Yao. Let him go to work. That's how you're going to win this game.
51-43 Jazz. Yao with 15. Boozer passing it inside. Dangerous pass. Got away with it. Back outside to Fisher. And it's a long 2.
That's the worst shot in basketball. Foot on the line for 2.
I agree. I can't stand that shot.
Well, at least when it goes in, it's not bad.
Oh, it should have been a 3.
Yeah, get that extra point.
Down to Yao over Okur again, and Yao Ming has come out, hit his first 3. He's got 17 points.
It's interesting how the Rockets start out the second half going to Yao just as they started the game, but they always seem to get away from that.
I say put a saddle on him and ride him home, baby.
Ride him and T-Mac all the way home.
There's kicked ball by Houston, 14 on the shot clock. Well, it doesn't appear to me that they've come as fast with double teams to help Okur out. And once he forces them to do that, then something else ought to open up, huh?
He did such a great job in the first half, forcing him away from the basket.
Williams in the corner, down to 10. Williams going baseline. And it's tipped up and in by Kirilenko. There was nobody with a red jersey anywhere close to that basket.
I think the Rockets were just looking at that like he was going to make it. Kirilenko was the only player that saw that it was coming off the rim.
Okur fronting Yao Ming. Yao goes baseline. Back the other way, lost it. Okur hits the 3. This is dangerous territory for the Houston Rockets. Rivalry game here in Salt Lake. This is just about where the Jazz have taken the game over and put it out of reach. And now they're up by 8. And again, a turnover by Yao Ming.
Here's Mehmet Okur. He slaps the ball away. Yao hits the ground. Someone should pick him up, check him out. He's wide open on the three-point line. Doing it on both ends of the court, Mehmet Okur.
And the Jazz are now 4 for 4 from behind the arc. They're shooting 59% overall. So they are really efficient on the offensive end. The Rockets have got to start playing some tougher defense, make their shots much more difficult.
Okur made 129 threes in the regular season for 38%. He was the best three-point shooter on the team. Giricek had a better percentage, but he only made 52.
And Okur certainly seems to shoot the ball better in this building. It's amazing how that goes.
Well, the great players they've had here in Utah, that was a record for the Jazz in three-point shooting for a season. There's a turnover. And the Jazz apparently dribbled it on the baseline.
As Karolinko, when you're close to the out-of-bounds line, you don't want to start dribbling the ball. I don't know if his injury was a part of that, but you just want to get the possession and give it to the point guard.
And what they're saying now is they're going to put 11 seconds on the shot clock, so they're saying that the Jazz did not have possession of that ball.
I agree with that. He never corralled it.
Rafer will bring it in. McGrady fires from deep. Yao tips it. He's got it. Gets it back, and he's fouled. He was shooting. Foul is called on Darren Williams.
I think Yao, he heard the whistle. He was trying to get that shot up. What a heads-up play by Yao, but they're not going to give it to him.
No. Good effort, but it didn't work.
See, Yao's fighting for this ball, and once he finally gets it, look, he's trying to get it up there. That's a pretty good effort right there.
All right, Rockets get a fresh 24 on the new possession. Looking to Yao again. This time he's got Boozer on him. He shoots it over him a little fast. Looked like he was losing his balance when he turned. Quickly back to Fisher. Rockets have to get back on defense, trailing by 8. Rockets are in the danger zone now. They need to make a couple of stops. Jazz shoot it. Boozer with a miss. There's one. The Rockets, though, must stop and then make. Chuck Hayes down to Yao. He couldn't catch it again.
Bad pass.
Yeah. Boozer inside for 2. 10-point lead by the Utah Jazz. Double team on McGrady. Back to Hayes. That was a tough catch. Rafer with a rainbow. In and out. Won't go. Okur gets it out to Karolinko. Fast break Utah. Andre Karolinko. No basket. And a charging foul on Karolinko.
And there's our guy again, Shane Battier, giving up the body. You got Karolinko bearing down on you full speed. What are you going to do? You're going to take it for the team? That's what Shane does.
Shane outguesses it, anticipates it. Great defensive job by Shane Battier.
And then
Karolinko flops.
Andre Karolinko takes the charge on Shane on the other end. Now, here's what I don't like about the block charge call. Shane didn't have the ball. He was away from the play. It had no bearing on the play at all. I don't think that should be called.
I think it should be called a flop, and it should be a 2-shot penalty.
At least 2 minutes in the penalty box for flopping.
Boozer misses over Yao. And they don't get any movement. That hurts them. All right, the Rockets now just need to score, fellas. T-Max open, shoots a 17-footer, hits. Tracy McGrady finally gets the Rockets on the board, 18 points. Points in the quarter for the Rockets. 6:59 left. Fisher with the jump shot. Missed it. Long rebound. Rafer is number 2 on the Rockets in rebounding. There's a steal. Fisher knocked away by McGrady.
Derek Fisher is so crafty.
Oh, is he crafty?
The veteran moves that he's got. He's trying to sell a foul here. Officials didn't call it.
The fans went for it, but the officials didn't go for it. There's Fisher with a great steal from McGrady's pass. Heads up play, the hands are up. He gets it, and actually, at this point, he's ahead of everyone.
Look at that.
McGrady slapped it away. Good, clean, no call. Great call by the official.
Kemi Mutombo checks in for Yao Ming.
Yeah, can you tell that Derek Fisher played in Hollywood for 3 years?
There's a turnover. Okur, tough pass to catch. Rafer right back the other way. Over to McGrady now, working on Kirilenko. Down low to Hayes, to Mutombo, and he lays it up and in.
I think there was some contact there by Darren Williams from behind. Should have been an N1.
Rockets have hit 2 baskets in a row now to get back within 6. Need a few more stops. Down low to Williams, off the glass.
Williams is too big for Ray Rawson on the low post.
Nice
6'3", outweighs him by 30 pounds, at least.
Back to an 8-point Utah lead. Rafer taking it in, gets blocked off. 10 seconds on the shot clock. McGrady finds Battier in the deep corner, and Shane misses, and Okur with a rebound. Okur's open. Okur hits. Mehmet Okur giving the Jazz an 11-point lead, their biggest of the game. Timeout, Houston. Well, there it is, 65-54, biggest lead of the game for the Utah Jazz, and Mehmet Okur has found the range tonight, Matt.
Well, here's Okur and Mutombo inside. Shane Battier is going to take a long 3. Let him go ahead and shoot. Now, Okur's going to come down with a tough rebound. And after he finally secures it, keep your eye on Mutombo the whole way down. Mutombo's supposed to be guarding Okur. Now here he is. He's looking for Okur. But as the ball goes here and inside, Mutombo's instincts are to get inside and guard the hoop. But there's your shooter. Okur has 9 points this quarter. 3 for 3 from behind the arc.
Mehmet Okur has 9 of the 19 points scored by the Jazz in this quarter. So he's the man. And in the series, tonight he has 14 points. So he's taken that series point total and squashed it.
Hey, that's how you win games like this. Each player plays a little bit better than what they've been doing in previous games.
Especially at home.
Brady knocks it out of bounds. That's the 12th turnover on Houston. Yao Ming back in the game for Mutombo. 5:10 left to play in the third quarter. The Rockets have managed only 11 points. This is so typical of every game here in Salt Lake. Kirilenko to Darren Williams. And that's their first miss from the three-point line. They were 5 for 5.
Well, think about it. In Game 5, the Rockets were 12 of 24 from the three-point line. That's great shooting.
Only made 4 here tonight. Great wall. Misses.
Clyde, the Utah Jazz have been running the flex offense all night long.
For 20 years. The flex and the post split, you can count on it.
Kirilenko. And Yao with the rebound. Giving it up to Rafer on the run. Rafer drops it off to Luther Head.
And the flex offense is an offense that you learn in junior high. It's the most basic offense you can run in basketball.
Yao takes it to the basket, draws the foul. He'll shoot 2. Well, he didn't call the initial contact. And Okur had to come back and foul him twice.
And Yao imposing his will on the low block. There he is. It gets him knocked away, but he comes back for more. Picks up the foul, and he's on the line for 2.
The Ahmed Okor with his 3rd foul of the game. It's the 4th team foul on the Jazz. The Rockets have not been whistled for a team foul in this quarter. And Giricek and Collins will check in for Jerry Sloan. Williams and Okor will go out.
Millsap had such an impact in the first half. I thought I'd see him a little bit earlier in this game. But so far, Jerry Sloan has elected to keep him on the bench.
That's the first miss for Yao Ming tonight, only his 5th in the series. Under 4 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter. This quarter has been owned by the Utah Jazz. We have a holding foul called on Rafer Alston, the first team foul called on Houston.
Utah Jazz run a very basic offense. They have about 3 or 4 basic sets, but they have about 20 different things they can run off those. And that time, Fisher tried to cut back door. Rafer knew he was beaten, just grabbed him.
Well, they run basic offense, and if you make a mistake, they punish you with layups and back picks.
Collins not looking to shoot, but he'll pass out of there. 5 on the shot clock, down to 4, down to 3. Fisher. Well, he had to shoot it over Yao. That's an air ball. Rockets will bring it up. Yao wants to post up in a hurry. McGrady goes to the rack, and it's blocked by Kirilenko, I think. Kirilenko, one of the leaders in block shots in the playoffs. He and Okor. Fisher turns the corner. Good defense by the Rockets. 2 seconds down to 1. Fisher has to put it up, and another air ball.
It's 2 in a row by Fisher. Great defense on the part of the Houston Rockets. Really, the last 2 possessions to try to get back in this game. But what they've got to do to capitalize on it is do something on the offensive end.
Well, that's the thing. They've got only 11 points in the 3rd quarter. They have not been able to score.
Listen, and that's not the time to do it coming out of halftime.
Yeah, they've held the Jazz to 19. Right? So that's not bad. But you've got to score. 2:54 left.
Especially since the Jazz are shooting 53%.
McGrady down the baseline, gets around Giricek. Giricek with the foul. That's the 15th foul on the Jazz. We've got a timeout on the court. When we come back, Tracy McGrady will be at the free throw line trying to get the Rockets to within 8.
Jazz lead the Rockets by 10 with 2:49 left in the 3rd.
Or Clyde to Glide. Don't you guys have a team?
Oh, I wish. You know, we all learn from playing street ball.
Yeah.
But you have to refine your skills to make it to the NBA.
I still play street ball with my son.
Right. Stay right under the basket.
Meaning you play on the street.
Yeah, right. In my street with my son. Isn't that street ball?
McGrady will have one more. So he gets it within 8. You know, fellas, 2:49 left. If the Rockets could get this down to about 5 or 4, they'd have an interesting 4th quarter. They're certainly not out of it.
I agree with that, but you got to get it to a point where you make the Jazz nervous.
Giricek hits again. My goodness gracious. They are 6 of 8 from behind the arc, and the 2 they missed were rushed up shots by Fisher. Giricek shot over 42%, and there's a foul on Giricek. He keeps putting his arm. He's been doing that the entire series, and I guess he wonders why he's not getting away with it tonight. It really depends on the officiating, and they look at the past games, don't they?
Dick Pavetta making all of the hand-checking calls in tonight's game so far.
I want to talk a little bit more about Utah Jazz three-point shooting. This series, they're shooting 23%
dead last.
The arc. Dead last in the playoffs.
Yep.
Tonight, 6 for 8 for 75%. That's a huge difference.
Well, think about all of the teams scoring in the playoffs. In this series, they've got the lowest combined points per game than any other series, which is 173 total points and dead last.
Giricek coming off a pick. In and out, won't go. The rebound goes to Hayes. Problem for the Rockets. They're only 4 for 15, and that's what they do well, shoot the 3. And a foul is called on Collins as he grabbed Yao Ming.
T-Mac with the bullet pass, and Collins had a hold of Yao's arm. Good thing that bullet pass wasn't at Yao's head.
Well, it didn't make any difference because Collins had both of his arms pinned to his side.
They didn't call that foul. It could have been ugly.
This is a point of the game where free throws have a significant impact on who's going to win or lose.
Yeah, in this quarter, it's keeping the Rockets in the game. Oh, he missed again. That's uncharacteristic. So he's only 1 for 2 the last 2 trips down. Harpering. He's getting a little antsy because he hasn't made anything tonight.
Yeah, he's yet to score, but he's only shot the ball 3 times.
T-Mac trying to fake his man. He does. He takes it inside, draws another foul. So the Rockets are getting to the free throw line.
And they're not settling for contested outside jumpers.
And each time they score, if they can get 2 points from the line, they're stopping the action so the time's not running down. As Paul Millsap checking in. It's usually bad news for Houston.
I'm surprised it took him this long to get him in. They took out the free throw disparity. It was about even at halftime. Now the Rockets have really gone to the line a bunch here in the third.
T-Mac gets them both, and Tracy with 24 points. And the Rockets have closed to within 6 with 1:38 left to play in the third. Rockets are hanging tough. And Yao with a foul.
Fisher is so crafty. I'm surprised the Jazz don't do more of that, because every time they run the pick and roll with whoever's guarding Yao, Fisher just runs right into Yao and he gets the call almost without exception.
Second foul on Yao Ming, and especially when you're out there in the middle of everybody. Lutherhead almost gets a steal there. Giricek gives it up to Fisher. Fisher 5 down to 4. Has to pass it off. Giricek is guarded. Giricek gets it off. He missed it. Long rebound to Hayes, and Rafer ends up with it. Rockets trailing by only 6 points. McGrady, long 3. In and out, won't go. Tough luck shot. 1 minute left to play in the third quarter. Rockets need to close well. Okur rushes a 3. This time he missed it. McGrady tips the rebound to himself. And T-Mac with 8 rebounds, 24 points. McGrady, nice pass to Hayes, but he couldn't hold it. Oh, man.
T-Mac's only got 1 assist in this game. What that means is his teammates are not either catching it cleanly or making the shots he's giving them.
He's giving them wide open looks, but they're not converting.
So many wasted opportunities here in the third quarter. Fisher misses a 3. Okur's got the rebound. Giricek passed up on the 3. Now with that offensive rebound, they can take the clock down. There'll be about an 8-second difference. Shot clock, game clock. If the Rockets can get a stop here, they could score and really tighten this baby up. Need a stop. There it is, and Yao tips it to McGrady. 10 seconds. Plenty of time for T-Mac to work his magic. Tracy with a jumper. Missed it. Well, the Rockets had a bunch of opportunities. Their defense is doing okay, but they just can't score any points. But it's still anybody's game as we go to the final 12 minutes. Rockets down by only 6. Welcome back to Salt Lake City as we head to the fourth and final quarter. The Rockets were on the verge of being blown out, down by 11, but they hung in there. Neither team shot particularly well in the third. Jazz outscoring Houston 22-19. This is not dissimilar from Game 5, and that the Rockets were trailing by 4 going into the fourth quarter, trailing by 6 here tonight. Anybody's game still, man.
Yeah, the Rockets have got to get more efficient on the offensive end. They were 5 for 14 in the third quarter, only scored 19 points. They got to find somebody that's hot and put a whole bunch of points on the board here in the fourth.
There's a good idea. Juwan Howard. As he will bring it in, it'll be Juwan, Rafer Alston, Shane Battier, Yao Ming, and Luther Head as Tracy will get a rest. Luther down to Yao. Yao with Okur behind him. And he turns inside, misses the shot, but he'll get 2 free throws.
The Rockets seem to have a little momentum going as they ended the quarter on a 7-3 run.
And Mehmet Okur now has picked up his 4th foul of the game.
See, that's huge. Here's Yao in the low block. Patience, turnaround jumper. He put his body into Okur to make the contact on a forward progressive move. Great job by Yao Ming to draw the foul. Keeps the Rockets' momentum going.
Rockets 13 of 16 from the free throw line. Yao 6 of 8. Kirilenko now will come in for Gerachek.
Now the reason why Kirilenko came in with only 12 seconds off the clock here in the fourth is because T-Mac went out. The Jazz did not realize that. So now Kirilenko's matched up with Luther Head.
Oh, yeah.
Look for Kirilenko on the post.
Yao gets both free throws, and the Rockets have closed to within 4 points. There it is. They're looking,
right to it.
Looking to Kirilenko. Double team by Yao. Oh, great catch by Harpering. Harpering on the drive. Gives it up to Kirilenko, and he lost the ball. Late whistle and a foul on Luther Head. That's the first foul on the Rockets. That's not a shooting foul, is it? I thought he was.
They said he was in the act of shooting.
No, was he?
Well, he wasn't going to make a pass, that's for sure.
He was in the act of falling down, I know that.
I thought it was a clean steal.
Here it is. Is he shooting or is he not? Well, he lost the ball right away.
Well,
that thumb has been bothering his handle all season long.
But he had to throw it over his head if he was shooting. That's a great imagination.
Yeah.
With the Jazz up by 6.
Remember the one where Yao tried to get the foul when he was shooting it? That's just as good, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I haven't been a voting member of the Referees Association all year. And 3 seconds called on Yao Ming. You know, Luther, when you fake him that pass, you better either pass it to him or do something with it, because if you let him just stand there, well, it's going to be called every time.
Yao was open. He needed the ball, but the defender on Luther Head had his hands up, and Luther couldn't see him. So that's where the ball pressure really gives the Jazz an advantage.
Kirilenko almost stepped into the backcourt, lost it again.
The Jazz are getting a little goofy here.
5 seconds. Harpering passes out to Darren Williams. Gets open base. Oh, man.
What a possession by the Jazz.
That's bad luck.
They tried to turn it over 3 or 4 different times.
Juwan hits again. He's 8 for 8, counting the last 2 games.
That's a great pick and pop there for Juwan. That's his shot there on the baseline.
10:30 left to play in the game. Aaron Williams lost the ball. Looked like he went off his knee. 10 seconds. Millsap will bring it in. Aaron Williams. Crossover. Gives it up to Okur. Okur will shoot a 3. Missed it. Yao tips it to himself over Millsap. Juwan Howard. Now Okur is on Juwan.
Okur has 4 fouls. Oh, Juwan just made an aggressive move to the basket.
Nice pass back to Juwan. Rafer's open for a 3. Yes! Rafer Alston with a 3-pointer, and the Rockets have closed to within 3 points. 72-69.
And look for Boozer to check into this game real quick for the Jazz.
Well, if this man behind us has any say-so in the matter.
You think Jerry Sloan listened to him?
No, I think he was going to anyway. Okur, fade away. In and out, won't go. Millsap deflects it over to Juwan. Luther gets it up the court in a hurry. Rafer takes a break to the basket. Juwan down to Yao. Yao puts it up and has it blocked by Kirilenko. What a play. Third block for Kirilenko. And a foul called on Juwan Howard.
And that's what Kirilenko does. He's an excellent defensive player, weak side shot blocker. Here's a great pass to Yao in the low post. Kirilenko comes from the weak side with his long reach. He's 6'9". He's got the wingspan of a 7-footer. He makes a great block.
That's where Akeem got half of his, didn't he? From the weak side.
So he's 6'9", but he's 7 foot with the spiked hair, and he's got the wingspan of a 7-footer.
Right,
you know, I'm thinking maybe that's why he can't handle the basketball. He's got too much hair gel on his hands.
Cut it out.
Boozer back in the game now. Hayes picks him up. And Boozer will shoot 2. Foul is on Luther Head. So now Yao goes out of the game. The Rockets with their smallest lineup. And Boozer will shoot.
Well, Yao was very tired. He was bending over, grabbing his knees, trying to catch his breath. But don't expect him to be out for very long.
Jazz, meanwhile, having a lot of trouble scoring the basketball.
Boozer in the regular season was a 68% free throw shooter. And here in the playoffs, he's 65%. Got the roll. 73-69. 9 minutes left to play in the game. T-Mac. Kirilenko working on him. Juwan's open with a little fake. Gets it down to Hayes. Puts it up and in. And Chuck Hayes scores his first basket of the game. And it's 73-71. Rockets have clawed all the way back. They were down by 11 in the third quarter. Darren Williams gets a step.
Darren Williams taking his ex-college teammate Luther Head to the basket and draws the foul.
And we have a timeout on the court. 8.5 minutes left to play in this game. The Rockets have gotten it down to a 2-point contest. 73-71 Utah. 8.5 minutes left to play in this game. Game 6. Time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch.
Well, we got the better end of that match again. Yao with 21 points, 6 rebounds. Okura having a pretty good game also. 14 points, 7 rebounds. I like it. I'll take Yao every night.
Looks like Yao may be wearing him down just a little bit. In the third quarter, Okura was hot from the 3.
Yeah, he's been kind of trailing on the fast break, and the big men have been losing him in transition. That's how he's getting the open shots.
And here's Yao imposing his will on the low block with the jump hook. Again, with the turnaround Jimmy. Nothing but net. I like to see more of that going down to the stretch of this game because Okura has 4 fouls, and that could be a determining factor because he's been getting it done on both ends of the court.
Yao's still on the bench now, and the play that's been working for the Rockets is the Juwan Howard pick and pop. So with Yao still sitting, let's look and see if they run that pick and roll again.
Darren Williams with the free throw. Darren 12 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Austin 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Ten of 12 from the free throw line for the Jazz here tonight. Rockets 14 of 17. So it's back up to a 4-point Utah lead. T-Mac gets a double team. Shane Battier got it. Boy, that's huge. Battier had missed 5 shots in a row until that big 3.
First points of the game for Shane Battier couldn't come at a better time for the Rockets.
Unless he hits the game winner. 1-point game. 7:58 left to play. Jazz, Battier with a steal. Looks ahead to Juwan Howard. He's got to beat Kirilenko. He missed it. Well, Kirilenko hustled back and made a good defensive play.
Those are shots you got to make if you want to win series.
Yeah.
You got to take advantage of your opportunities.
A transition bucket.
Okur, short. Think his legs are tiring out a little bit?
No doubt.
Absolutely. Battling Yao Ming on the low post all night. He's dead tired.
Rockets with a chance to take the lead if they can get a basket here. McGrady's open. 3, off the mark. 2 times now, 2 possessions, the Rockets had a chance to get the lead now.
T-Mac made his first 3. He's gone 0 for 4 since.
I'm sure everybody getting a little tired now. 7:02 left to play in the game. Millsap looking for Boozer. There's no spacing there. Williams now will give it to Boozer. 2 seconds. Down to 1. Boozer doesn't know it. He doesn't get it off in time. 24-second defense by the Rockets.
The Jazz are struggling mightily on the offensive end. They've only scored 7 points since 1:49 seconds left in the third period.
Pretty good defense here. Chuck Hayes staying in front of him, making him take an extra dribble, and that's when the shot clock went off.
You got to have awareness of the shot clock if you're the Jazz. All 5 players, not only the point guard, but all 5.
Wait for Alston back in the game for Houston. Lutherhead is out. McGrady turns a corner. T-Mac to the rack, and he threw the ball away.
Off the body.
Again, 2 missed shots, a turnover. This is the time of the game where you've got to make the plays to win.
You just can't make these mistakes. They've played such good defense. It would be terrible to waste this defensive effort. Good cutoff by Hayes. Harpering misses. And again the Rockets. This will be the 4th possession. The Rockets have had a chance to take the lead. Kirilenko gets a steal. Boozer. Boy, he just knocked.
Ramrodded is a better word.
Boy, did he knock Battier down? That was a TKO.
Hey, if you want to win this game, you got to do it the old-fashioned way. You got to earn it.
Yeah, the Rockets.
You're not going to get it given to you here.
You're right. Good point, Matt. Oh, man. The Rockets are falling apart. 5:40 left to play. They've lost their composure again. This is a critical time. You cannot do it now. Steal. You've got to score here. Take it to the basket, Tracy.
I think they're both falling apart.
Well, they got to be tired. Tracy having trouble with that handle. Kirilenko giving him fits. T-Mac to the rack and is blocked by Kirilenko. 5 blocks for Andre Kirilenko. He has been the difference in this game right now.
Throw in 3 steals, and he's had a heck of a game.
Boozer with a miss. Bad shot. And McGrady's got the basketball. 77-74. Jazz up by 3.
Kirilenko's name is always in the mention for Defensive Player of the Year. And he's showing his value in this game tonight.
He's really shut McGrady down. McGrady, he's finally fouled, and he'll shoot 2. So we have a timeout. When we come back, T-Mac will try to get the Rockets within 1 point. 4:45 left to play. Utah up by 3, 4:45 left in Game 6. Let's take a look at tonight's Progressive Insurance Above the Rim replay. And Yao Ming getting it inside.
Well, anytime Yao's got a clear path to the basket, you know he's going to finish. I like when he takes it in and dunks it. And here's another one from the other side. Good patience to let Kirilenko go by. Kirilenko's got 5 blocks in this game. Yao Ming very effective. 7 for 13, but Clyde only 13 shots.
Only 13 shots. You know, you got to give Yao Ming more shots. He's had 9 free throws in the game, so they fouled him a lot. He's got 21 and 6, but I'd like to see them go to Yao down the stretch.
Well, the last 5 trips, the Rockets 1 for 4 with 3 turnovers. That's not going to get it. But let me ask you this, Clyde. What's going through T-Mac's mind right now? He has a chance with these 2 free throws. He's got 4:45 to get that elephant off his back. He has never gotten out of the first round. You don't want to get it to a Game 7. They got a chance.
Well, he's not thinking about that right now because it's not desperation for Tracy McGrady in Game 6. The Jazz have to beat the Rockets on their home court. So for him, he's thinking about playing his regular game, getting good opportunities, and if he's doubled, getting the ball distributed to his teammates.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if he can close with a flourish,
it would be great.
He can get it right here. I mean, this game's there for the taking.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of this situation right now. If you let this one slip out of your hands, being down only 3, perhaps 1, at this juncture, man, you've got to take advantage of it.
I'll tell you what, nobody's as aware of that as T-Mac. He's a very intelligent player, but this is a team effort, guys. It's going to take the effort of Yao, Battier, Rafer's got to make shots. Well, the Rockets have got to do it collectively.
Well, let me ask you this now. The Rockets have gone a long time without Yao. They've gone with this lineup. And right now they have outscored the Jazz 14-9 in this quarter. Well, Yao's back in. I'm sorry. I didn't see him standing down. He was cherry picking on him. Rafer knocks it out of bounds. Good defense, Rafer Alston, 4:37.
And Clyde, you talk about it being a team effort. It has been a team effort on the defensive end for sure. Give the Rockets defense a lot of credit.
They've been phenomenal as the Jazz have gone cold, but it's because the Rockets defense is so good.
Harpring coming off a pick. Battier chases him. There's Darren Williams picked up by Yao on the help. Kirilenko flashes in. Well, when Yao comes over to help, it leaves that middle open. Kirilenko with a brilliant game tonight. 12 points, 5 blocks, 3 steals.
Yeah, good Bill. This is Kirilenko's best game of the series by far.
McGrady looks to Yao. And an offensive foul on Yao Ming.
Okay, now if they're going to call this, Yao's got to learn how to flop.
Yeah.
Because the amount of pushing and shoving that Okur has been doing on Yao, and then to flop when Yao pushes back.
At this stage of the game, I think that's a no call.
Somebody tell Dick Bavetta. Rockets need to stop again. Okur outside to Kirilenko. He puts it up and in. Well, there's the difference. Andre Kirilenko tonight looks like AK-47. Before he looked like AK pop pistol. But tonight, he's been firing them all. 3:51 left. Welcome back to Salt Lake City as the Rockets trail by 5 points, 3:51 left to play. Time to look at tonight's Gatorade Endurance player, Rafer Alston, 39 minutes, 13 points, no turnovers.
Yeah, the no turnovers is very impressive considering the Rockets have 18 of them in this game. Yao's got 17, Max got 5, Shane's got 3, but 0 from your point guard. That's very impressive.
Well, we come down to the final 3:51, Clyde, and these are the possessions now that you almost have to get something. You got to start getting something out of every possession.
Absolutely. And there's still plenty of time left in this game for the Rockets to get something going because their defense has been so good.
Just can't turn it over anymore.
No, you gotta make good on the offensive end. That's where the game is for them.
T-Mac gets a pick. T-Mac turns the corner. Gives it up to Yao for the slam. What a play. Tracy finds Yao Ming.
That was the Tracy Juwan pick and roll, but they got it to the weak side and got Yao stepping in. Good play out of the timeout.
3-point game. Just under 3.5 minutes left to play. Double team on Williams. Backs him out a little bit. Now he gets down the lane. Shoots a jumper. Boy, he's something. He never loses that dribble, does he?
No, he keeps his dribble alive. A lot like Steve Nash, and he can create and finish when he gets to the painted area.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Juwan over to Rafer. Back to T-Mac. And a whistle and a foul on Harpring. No, they're going to call. No, Harpring raised his arm. And 3 seconds called on Yao.
Same play, different result. Yao was open in the paint, but the Rockets could not get him the ball.
Well, when he's open, you got to get him the ball. He's open right there. Boom. He was open when Rafer had it, but he reversed it.
Harpring raised his hand, but he was saying 3 seconds. Boozer, that's a charge. Oh, a block is called on Shane Battier.
Shane Battier read this perfectly, anticipated what Boozer was doing. There he is on the slip. Oh, close call.
Well, he called. Boy, that's tough.
Could have gone either way.
That's the 15th foul on the Rockets. The Jazz have only 2, so the Jazz still have a couple of fouls to give here.
Usually in that situation, guys, when the offensive player dips his shoulder, it's a sure sign that he has committed an offense. And in that case, Boozer got away with it.
Boozer with 19 points. Make it 20. 85-78. Boy, the Rockets now, they just almost have to score. 2:40 left to play. McGrady looks for a 3. Missed it. And Jawan with a great offensive rebound. Rockets get another chance. Looking at Yao, working on Boozer. Works on Boozer, turns inside. Yao way off balance. Boy, he was on 1 foot then. .2:15 left. Okura for a 3. Got it. And that could seal Houston's doom. Looks like we're headed back to Houston for a Game 7. 2:06 left to play, but you would have to believe in miracles for the Rockets to win this one. Well, there it is. The Jazz in the last minute and a half, fellas, have outscored the Rockets 7-2, and that was winning time. And
we have to talk about the second half. Only 19 points in the third quarter, only 16 points in the fourth. That's not how you win closeout games.
No, especially on the road. Your offense has got to be clicking. When you have Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming, 2 of the most potent offensive players in the league, and you have trouble scoring down the stretch, you have a problem.
Well, of course, the crowd now very much into it because they realize they probably will be a Game 7. But if it holds to form, the Rockets will win.
Well, the one thing about the fans here is they're excited because they know there's going to be a Game 7, but they're going to have no bearing on Game 7. It's the Rockets' Red Rowdies that are going to have the last say.
Well, these two teams finished almost dead even this season. The Rockets had one more win, although the Jazz won the season series against Houston. And they're so even, I guess it should have gone to 7 games.
Yeah.
Rafer, in and out. Karolinko with a rebound. And he's been the difference. Karolinko.
Offensively and defensively in tonight's game.
Yep.
He's got 5 block shots in this game so far.
Aaron Williams tried to lean in and draw the foul. Down to 2 seconds, down to 1. Williams gets open, missed it, and the rebound. Luther Head. 88-78, 10-point lead.
Shoot it. There you go. 3.
Is that a 3 free throws? 2.
Big foot on the line, but with a minute 21 left, there is still hope. You got to knock down 3 threes and make this free throw here.
You never say never. Nothing is impossible, but it's not probable.
Tonight's Landry signature group Rockets player of the game. Tracy McGrady with 26 points and 10 rebounds. So another double-double for T-Mac. Luther Head gets the first free throw. He'll have one more. Well, the difference in this game, fellas, has been the two big guys have gotten their points, but nobody else has, and that was the difference in Game 5. .107-106 left to play. Karolinko to Boozer. Now they're running plays for Kirilenko to hand the ball off. He's doing everything tonight.
He's got his confidence back.
Yeah, that could be a problem for the Rockets coming into Toyota Center Saturday night. Kirilenko hasn't been a factor in any of the games but tonight's.
I'll tell you what, that could be big for the Jazz if there's a Game 7. How about Matt Harper? Still hasn't scored.
Okur fouled by Yao Ming. So Kirilenko with 14 points, 5 blocks. Boozer 22 points, 17 for Okur, including 4 threes. Williams with 15 points.
Got a little fracas going on there between Harper and Shane Battier. Shane Battier telling the officials, you got to see that. I didn't see what it was, but Shane not happy. So Dick Pavetta having a little tete-a-tete with those two guys.
Well, they'll get to settle in Game 7.
I tell you what, Game 7, the Rockets, the series goes the way it has been. Home court advantage is the key, and that's why you fight so hard to attain it.
Well, folks, if you've never been to a Game 7, you just haven't lived. I mean,
I agree.
It's going to be unbelievable Saturday night in Houston. And you're going to have to be just as unbelievable as the Rockets. And we have a whistle. And a foul. It's called on Matt Harpering.
Could be a little frustration on the part of Harpering. He hasn't scored in tonight's game. He's 0 for 4. And he and Battier have been going at it all series long. So just look forward to that matchup in Game 7.
Yeah, going to be a doozy. And Harpering's probably a little frustrated, even though he's winning. He hasn't scored. He's 0 for 4. And Chuck Hayes will come in the game, and Yao will go out. So Yao Ming goes to the sidelines, 25 points and 6 rebounds. Rockets can only make 1 of 2 every trip down. 10-point lead by the Jazz. Foul on Luther Head. So Luther Head with his 6th foul of the game. John Lucas will come in for Houston.
Well, if we go back to my keys for the game, killer instinct was key number 3. Closeout games are always the toughest games to win because the team that's being beaten, in this case the Jazz, will fight tooth and nail to the end because they don't want to be eliminated. And that's what the Jazz have done here in the second half. The Rockets' killer instinct was not evident, especially not on the offensive end.
Good point, Matt. And they had chances. The bad thing is they're going to look back with 6-7 minutes to play in this game. It was a 3-point game. They had many, many opportunities.
Oh, it was a 1-point game. I mean, they got it to 1, yeah.
Missed shots and turnovers killed them in the fourth quarter.
They had 4 possessions. Remember, fellas? They were down by 1 point. The Rockets had the ball 4 times with a chance to take the lead. Turned it over 3 times. And that's it. We're going to have a Game 7. The Jazz had a big fourth quarter. And here we go back to Houston. Just like we thought it might be. Saturday night, Toyota Center. See you there. 94-82 Jazz. Stay right here. Coming up after the break, we'll have complete post-game coverage on Rockets Live.